Salam alaikum. Recently, the Federal Reserve made one thing abundantly clear. Interest rates have further to rise, and once there, they will stay elevated for some period of time. That is to say, the Federal Reserve's policy will be restrictive for the foreseeable future, and that means asset prices will likely be depressed for some time. For me, as an investor, and strictly as an investor, because there's a whole host of other social issues that are concerning, but from an investor's perspective, this is good news. And it's a piece of news that really drove home the importance of the moment that we live in. I look at it as a chance for me to set myself up for the rest of my life, and I think a lot of you can do the same if you follow the steps that I'm going to lay out in this video. Let me explain. During the last bull run, which lasted nearly 13 years and started after the last Great Recession of 08 and 09, I was not in a position to really take advantage of that bull run. I graduated in 2012. I had nothing to my name except for student loans, and I entered a corporate job wherein most of the excess of my pay was going to pay down the student loans. After I got married in 2018, I wanted to make sure that I was working something that I really loved before I accumulated more responsibilities with kids. And so I left my corporate job in the beginning of 2019 to follow what I was really passionate about, which was Islamic finance and halal investing. And I ended up dabbling in a number of different projects, and in these 3 short years, I feel like I've learned so much as an entrepreneur, and I'm finally getting into a rhythm, alhamdulillah, with practical Islamic finance. And so now is my chance to lean in heavily into investing, drawing from the lessons that I've learned in the last 10 years of investing, and set myself and my family up financially for the rest of my life, inshallah. And I think you can too. Perhaps you missed the last bull run. Now we're in a period of the investing life cycle wherein the payoff from investing becomes exceptionally high. Let me illustrate what I mean exactly with an example. Let's say a price target for a particular stock is $100. And by price target, I mean what we think it's going to reach in price in the next 12 months. And if you don't know how to come up with price targets, consider becoming a PIF member. We provide price targets, buy and sell prices for a large number of stocks and cryptos to our premium and elite members. Now, if the stock with the price target of $100 currently has a price of $90, then the potential profit we can gain from this stock is around $10, or 10 divided by 90, which is around 11%. Now, assume this stock drops 45%, which a lot of tech and growth stocks have as of late. Assume it drops 45% to around $50 a share. Now, assuming the same price target, now the potential profit is $100 minus $50 in investment outlay. That's $50 of potential profit. As a percentage, that's a 100% potential profit. So instead of earning 11%, we have the potential of earning 100% on our investment. So let's say you're investing $90. Instead of having the potential of earning $10, you now have the potential of earning $90. This is what I mean by an opportunity of a lifetime. This is the power of a bear market and the power of a recession for investors who know what they're doing to really set themselves and their families up financially for the rest of their lives. And who knows, if history repeats itself, it might be another 12, 13 years before we have a similar opportunity. So I intend to take full advantage of the opportunity that we're in. And to take full advantage, I believe you need to do three things. Number one, you need to make sure you are tracking every dollar of income and every dollar of expense. This is the starting point. You really need to know these numbers. If you're a full-grown adult, you need to be doing this. Not doing this, frankly, is amateur. You need to evolve into a professional, especially in light of the fact that there are many services today that allow you to track your income, your expenses, your investments, your net worth, and make it as seamless as possible for you. I've mentioned on this channel before Truebill, which is the service that I've used. It's now called Rocket Money. I think this is a great service. It's completely free to use, and I've left a link to this service in the description of this video. You don't have to use that service though. You can use any of the alternative services out there, and there are many. Just make sure you get started with knowing exactly where you stand financially, because this is going to allow you to do the second thing, which I think is extremely important to take advantage of this opportunity, which is to maximize your discretionary income. And you can do this second step by doing one of two things. You can either increase your income or lower your expenses, or a combination of both. As it relates to increasing your income, it's never been easier than it is today to make money online from the comfort of your home. Ask yourself, what do I have or know that other people may value and be willing to pay me for? And figure out how to test your thesis with minimal startup costs. And I can't stress this enough. Nowadays, you can test out any business idea you have with extremely low startup costs. And if you can't, then you're not being creative enough. Don't take on the risk of a new idea without testing it first. Make your first sales and then invest more money. If you can make an extra $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year, which you could be earning a really high return on if you invest it in the right places. To lower your costs, one of the options that is accessible today that has perhaps never been accessible in human history is the flexibility to choose where you want to live if you are location independent with your work. Today, more than ever before, employers are giving their employees flexibility to work remotely, and if this applies to you, you can choose to live in a less expensive location and save yourself thousands and perhaps tens of thousands yearly with reduced living costs without sacrificing your standard of living. An example that comes to mind is Turkey. If you're earning in dollars and you're able to cover your expenses, which are in Turkish liras, you could save yourself a lot of money, which you can use to invest. And then the third step is the logical conclusion to this process, which is to invest your money. Once you have that discretionary income that you can invest, you have to know where to invest it. So spend the time to educate yourself. Not all investments are equal. You want to deploy your money in the places where it has the best chance of giving you a high return. And by far the most accessible investments for most people is going to be stocks or crypto. I created a free beginner's guide to halal investing in stocks. All you have to do is sign up to our newsletter. It will be linked to in the description of this video. This is a completely free guide, as I mentioned, that will walk you through the basics to help you get started. PIF membership can really help you sort through different cryptos and stocks. I know that I am biased in my review since it is my company, but we do provide in-depth, high-quality research on different stocks and cryptos to our members. Additionally, members can follow my personal portfolios and see trade for trade, move for move, what I'm putting my money into, as well as the watch list that we mentioned where we have buy and sell prices for different assets. I think the value that members get is well worth the investment that they make in membership costs. And if you pay for an annual membership, you'll get 2 months free. You should also consider the course that I recently published about screening stocks for Sharia compliance on your own, so you don't have to rely on someone else's opinion about the asset that you are considering. And as Benjamin Graham, Warren Buffett's mentor, wrote, the intelligent investor is a realist who sells to optimists and buys from pessimists. And there is a lot of pessimism in the market as of late, so I, for one, am going to be a buyer while it lasts. I hope you found this video beneficial. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, make sure to take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum and peace be upon you all.